Last year, Panera launched something known as Panera Cares, and it's a restaurant in Clayton, Missouri. And what the restaurant does is it allows people to decide how much they pay for the sandwiches and for the food there. So, for instance, on the menu, there are no prices. However, there are donation suggestions. Like, for instance, hey, if you want to pay the full price for the sandwich, it would be $7, right? Mm-hmm. It was an interesting experiment. We now have the results of that experiment a year later, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, it turns out that about 20% of the cafe visitors leave more than the suggested price, which I think is fascinating. 20% leave less than the suggested price, and 60% leave the suggested donation.
You know what conclusion that leads me to? Just charge the damn price.
No.
All the nonsense.
You know why? Because the 20% that doesn't pay the suggested donation, they probably don't have the money to pay for that sandwich,
You know
right?
what? I retract what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Kasparian, you've made an excellent point.
I didn't even finish my point, but cool.
No, I got it. Step aside. Okay. Seriously, I actually, now that I've thought about it a little bit and given what you said, I think it's great because, hey, you know what? If you can afford to pay a little more, great. You cover the people who can't quite afford it on that day. It's like sometimes I have to cut in the middle of traffic and I feel bad about it because I'm really in a hurry. And other days when people cut in front of me, I don't sweat it.
Oh, really?
I'm like, hey, you know what? They're in a hurry. Some days I'm in a hurry and some days I'm not. Okay, some days I get a little bit more for the sandwich, some days I don't. And you know what? So we're all looking out for each other, and in the end, Panera gets the same amount of money anyway. That's downright communist.
No, and it's a...
No, it's lovely. It's people working together.
It is, exactly. And it's an interesting experiment into humanity because, you know, how many times have I said on the show that sometimes I feel like I want to give up on humanity because you hear all of these horrible stories of corruption and greed. But in this case, you know, you have people helping out the poor in a certain way and, you know, basically picking up the slack and helping them pay for their sandwich and their foods. And it ensures that they have access to a delicious meal. So I'm in favor of it. So this makes me love Panera even more than I already did.
I was gonna say, have you guys been to Panera?
It's delicious.
This works only because it's good. They make good sandwiches. If they made some subpar food, you'd give less. And they're overpriced. They overcharge it. You know, you go, I'm not paying $7 for this shit sandwich.
But you like Panera.
Yeah.
So you're willing to pay more.
That's why
too.
it works. That's why it can work. 'Cause there's enough people that are like, oh, it's a good sandwich. I'll pay the price they ask. I'll pay the other, you know, I'll pay more even. And people who can't aren't necessarily going, this is a horrible sandwich. They won't say that because it's not.
I hear you on that, but you know, there's one other part of this. You know, it's not the people who pay less aren't necessarily poor. A lot of them are like people are like suckers. Yeah, I ate your sandwich, give you $1. And then the people who are paying more also subsidize those guys. But you know what? It's all right. You know, in the end, everybody's still a little better off, even though some guy thinks he's so smart.
Is there any information on how much more and how much less they paid? Because, I mean, if 20% paid $1 for a $7 sandwich, and the 20% who paid more paid $8, they're kind of losing out.
Yeah, they said that, well, we don't know the exact numbers, but they said that they were able to pay 80% of the retail price of the sandwiches in the end.
Oh, so they did lose 20%.
Yeah, they lost 20%.
Oh. So, by the way, that was an attempt in Missouri. That's not in every Panera. Given that they lost 20%, it probably won't be in any more Paneras.
No, they plan on continuing,
actually. Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay, God bless Panera.
This is kind
Look
of
at
like
that.
their way of doing charity, I think. So.
It's interesting. I like it. I like the experiment.